Hey everybody, this is Jason with Thunder Chasers, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about the hype train. We all know what that means, or if you don't, the hype train is essentially web, Facebook pages, maybe even YouTube channels, Twitter accounts, etc., that take these graphics of hurricanes or of other weather systems, but right now this is the hurricane season, so that's what we're talking about. And those graphics are used as an attention getter, and you know they talk about they just kind of hype it up. They make it seem worse than it actually is. They talk about the worst case scenario right up front. And right now, let's be honest, this storm is barely even, it's not even formed yet. 99L in particular is what we're talking about. And that's Invest or Investigation 99L from the National Hurricane Center, which that's this bad boy right here. So right now you can see it's only a 50% chance, which is it's moderately significant within the next 48 hours. So we will have some sort of tropical cyclone within the next couple of days, probably either before or by the weekend. And it should move into the Gulf. Now, what we don't know is where exactly it's going to go. You're going to see all kinds of plots and graphics and whatnot showing where this might go. But as you can see, particularly from this graphic, the one that's on the thumbnail, it's everywhere. Now you have the main track there in black, but there's all kinds of possibilities. And until this thing forms, there's really not any. You really can't trust any of these graphics. I mean, yeah, it's going to go to the northwest portion of the Gulf. I mean, that's pretty much a given. It's going to be somewhere between Texas and Louisiana, maybe even over into Mississippi. I mean, who knows? The model spreads quite wide right now. And that's because we're still quite a ways out before this thing becomes a hurricane. If it even becomes a hurricane, I would imagine that it will, because the sea surface temperatures are pretty strong. 89 degrees along the coast of Texas right now. So there's the waters in the Gulf are pretty warm. So I would imagine that it gets to at least a low end category 1, but then again, that's just a guess on my part. You just never know what's going to happen with these, and it's too early to tell right now. So if you see somebody out there hyping it up, then just know that you need to stick with legitimate sources of information, your local news, the National Hurricane Center, or if we're dealing with severe weather, the Storm Prediction Center, um, or people like Levi Cowan, who runs Tropical Tidbits. He always provides good information. He also does YouTube videos, so these are good sources of information. If you don't really recognize the page, and they're hyping it up, then you might want to go somewhere else for your weather information. But that's pretty much all I really have to say. Um, we don't really know a lot about the exact track. I mean, notice the Hurricane Center hasn't even put in any track information yet. Um, that's just because it's not even formed. There's not even a tropical depression yet. So, like right here, it says there are no tropical cyclones in the Atlantic right now. Now we do have a tropical depression, 14E, right? But 14E is on the other side of Mexico in the Pacific. So that's a completely different area. That's not going to impact the United States, more than likely. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep an eye on it. We may post another video about it later. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And if you don't follow us on Facebook, we also have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter and Instagram as well, but we are working on keeping up with those. So feel free to check those out as well. And have a nice day, everybody.